a pesticide fertilizer booster. I have purely organic. Efras asimu any de mass asino oba de ensano pe. Na me nua kayo say wudro bia ni. It is all the year for anya de aduaba no anase wo udi no benya soso bia. Na tese be ma kwaye ye decorate kane no a ebe fa na tuma pa e de fra. Na de ma epestain e dan so kra de say enema no wadua na ewuwo na flowers ni aduaba no ti go do ajawadwo a say wo de epestain kanu a ene te se magic no ebe ye prom fe na aso aba bebre anwadi mu pa eti se no kuafo ebenya sika ene anigye awo mabrabo mu a na utimi se enya sam keto akra epestain ye ma mo piafo epenifo mo mfre ahoman na mo nje chire mu ya ehye media 0552 505723 and a plus 160-922-78043. Apex fertilizer booster. Piao. Mama Piajuma ayani kapa. I wanna share with you, and you can share with me. Come, let's share together. Oh, KTA Mobile, KTA Mobile. Technology worth sharing.
It's the future.
Yo, what's your for any asha for Sabri? Yada obadi say I any pena and na and you so ya sign a shemubium and I yawada and yawada Sabri and Sakayan Kasa papa the very Reverend Moses Antwi. Now Sabri the himself Bibi Biara at the Dean said because Jessica draw no sound soon I want so ubetimi beji aware a draw ewo ke hit radio so Sabri sawo baswa ye be somebody answer over share video no said ya wunu bi said ya wadam for being so jumadie be ya emfaso ade ebe manu ti Sabri de na chese ya da munyina se apre ni abre nyina munya emre ade emayen ya de aseda kesian so be ma aye models designs yada omasi bebre se abribia omunya emre ade emayen ti Sabri de na chese jumadie aye jumadie sronkon na o share topic na edasna topic is how expectations affect one's happiness in marriage. How expectations affect one's happiness in marriage. Message the grace upas abomodin say upe share couple ni abema ya da munyina se sabo manya emre abaka abre na adwumade ni no na usiesie wo ho e de ama any question bibiara na say bibiara awowo bia contribute to comment bibiara that's just emre adwumade ni e koso no munyina mo ba share mo opinion awo adwumade yi hu na na topic nsa e mo ehwa mu ni e be share bibi bebre enti da wo de na tesa mensa mere menje wo mere nyina because umresa meso make asa bebre nti Sabri de mejamu atiefo ene ahwefo nyina ehya won sa yere wase bebre media be be ade amount ya da se bebre se bia uya emre ade emayen
yo atiefo na hwefo yeda mase bebre yeda rade asese and then so waye yadom na yetimi ehia ene yehwe so wo Facebook and Kwamet TV how expectations affect one's happiness in marriage na idea affect nipa bebre when nijia osenka unyano awaremu edi ehun asem na ye kan expectations. Obia to kwan na obia constitution bi mu a and obia koye bibia aya na oko with some expectations be enti to be obi wo ha school and a woko mu a oko with the expectations be so yeba aware and a relationship and also a institution and people come into that marriage institution with some expectations. Now, some of the expectations, they are unreasonable, and some are reasonable. And until ye pese America ye na ye discussing. Ura wariem ana ura wariem now expectations and they say nipa bebre wa sabre no they are not enjoying their marriages because of the unreasonable expectations that omo ewa wariem and until baba modern na we'll take our time and go through unreasonable expectations and reasonable expectations in marriage. If you say a idea affecting nipa bebre na had bebre, but a quite na expectations eba. Where do expectations come from? The person started a war. Say yeah, kind of chia. You can say and near maybe o share ni mo kwan. Say be a wukunu be ye. And now we yet be ye. And now dear be a me kwa wadi mu a anke bi a me nsa beka. And now menya. A prebebre and no ne men ni patu anamo. Minim say me nsa kan we ya. Meet me we meet me aye we. Nti niema bi a ye hwe ni mu kwan. Ho asem ne ye discuss. And yes, niema bi wo ha ye hwe ni mu kwan no. Bu a ye hwe fie kunum ho, ye hwe se de aware no ede be maye no. Aya na enye wo de ba ye nti ase na eyi a ebi wo ho a ye betima ka se emfa kwan mu papa. And ebi won so emfa kwan eno na ye pese ye hwe. Enti niema ye hwe ni mu kwan. Expectations na ye kan he fan free ba enipa bia woti wiase wo world view how uhunu wiase and how I even sometimes you think say wiase is so pretty and no enema wo expectations e wo life mu inti ebi wo ha ye fact ebi wo ha ye decisions your social societal norms and a being so ayana if you won't see ujidie and it's any money and in terms of a near my you share ni mu kwan e wabrabo ni mu no and near be brave and a chimney a kofa a day a bray then ye bo modern say you beat me a share na ya discussing na ya hwe no ye me pese yes shall free on reasonable expectations bia o hwe me afi na pese we enter into a relationship or maybe you are in a relationship and that's what the sabre no wa worry and casta. I strongly believe is that what I'm about to share with you will help you a lot if you are preparing yourself to enter into marriage. This thing will help you. If you are already in marriage, I strongly believe is that this thing these things that I'm about to share with you, expectations. It do baby a high my energy in ye pay ye a war our room. Mammy Musa, say be a na worry. Maybe you have married for 30 years, 35, maybe 40, maybe 20, 25, maybe 15 or 20, or maybe 10, or 5, or maybe 2, or just a year. No expectations. Just think about them. When we say be they were unreasonable expectations, and that's what I'm about to share with you. And I strongly believe that what I'm about to share with you, will be brave. Say, come into relationship, or if you are in a relationship, and that's what worry, what you worry. Now, expectations, but they say all problems can be solved in a marriage. And your unreasonable expectation. I want to person me day because I know people think it's say you worry more, and I see a warrior, in terms of problem and that challenges be a bit a bit. And I'm saying that if you are going into marriage, or if you are in a relationship, or you are in a marriage, now with that expectation, you're reasonable. All problems can be solved in a marriage. It's not true. It's not true. And maybe we'll take our time and we'll come back when we move to expectations that reasonable expectations, that maybe you'll get the whole picture. Number 2, we are so talking about reasonable expectations. Your spouse should fulfill your every need. It's not true. Things that you need, your spouse can meet all. Get it? And so if you are going to a marriage, or if you are in a relationship, or in a marriage, and you think say your spouse or your partner can meet all your needs, be very careful with that kind of expectation. Number 3, if you are going to a relationship, or maybe you have just entered into a relationship, and answer one worry, what you worry now, what expectation is that your spouse or your partner should serve as the primary source of your happiness. That is unreasonable expectation. In this life, there's so many things and are affected. Say you be and I say there are certain things that or spouse only control. And so if you think he should serve as the primary source of your happiness, you will be disappointed in marriage. And when you talk about marriage, in fact, marriage is not about your happiness. And so if you are going into marriage, or if you are in a marriage, or you are in a relationship, and you think say your partner is going to serve as a primary source of your happiness, with this expectation, I'm sorry, you'll be disappointed. It's unreasonable. Because anyama bebre and it may affect yen. A bit more basi bit me do baby or spouse or partner or obey everything. But baby or source of sorrow or pain or sadness if we ban when you control also. And if you are going to a relationship and things that your partner or your spouse should serve as a primary source of your happiness, I'm sorry. With that expectation, I don't think so. And so there's this notion, and sometimes you read the Bible and say, or born is so for, and I have heard people say they are not complete. And he say, as if say when you're complete, when you're whole. I'm sorry. So let me give you the next unreasonable expectation. If your expectation is that your partner or spouse should complete you, I'm sorry, it's an unreasonable expectation. Me kwa wadiemu na me huni se me nwie peye obu okro hu se oye fa be ma no beka no ho a ana wo ba no beka no ho a afei ena na waye mu a se wo kwa ware with this kind of mindset say you are not complete until say be ma beka ho ana wo ba beka ho nti wo yire beka ho ana ukunu beka ho na mo aye complete. I'm saying is a expectation be a brosto dodo. Brosto. Let me take my time to help you understand something here. I said something earlier on. Marriage is not about your happiness. It's about his happiness. It's about her happiness. Until one make it that person happy. The moment having your mindset is me no de me kwa ware. Nema bebre wo ha enwie pay nti me kunu ana me yere odofo me soro. Be very careful. Be very careful. And so a reasonable expectation, my wife or my husband should complete me. Then you are not ready for marriage. So if that's the expectation, and sometimes you hear people and when they are courting or they are studying each other, so many signs will pop up. The red flag will be showing and other things, and they think it's oh, everything will be okay. It's ever true. It's ever true. If you are in a relationship or you are in a marriage and you think that sex will always be fabulous or fantastic because you love each other, it's a reasonable expectation. Ubetimi are getting into marriage and Nema Bibiri betimi is here. I am telling you, say, if you are not very careful, you'll not even enjoy your sex life. And it's unfortunate to say, and nipa be brave I know my dream is about sex. What about anything? And don't forget, as long as we live on this earth, anything is possible. Assume you say you get into marriage. Now, Ekoba say, Ibia pop it up. Now you can't sleep with your spouse again. What will happen? What will you do? Be brave. I got that kind of experience in you. And in the year can say, if the mindset, if the expectation is there, so in terms of a sex life, I don't think so we are going to have a problem. And sometimes so funny when you are taking people through the pre-marital counseling, and when you get to that session where you are talking about sex, and you are drawing them, you are drawing the attention to few things, and the way they will react sometimes. I look at some of them and I laugh. Let me tell you, a bit to me about say, Obana uko warano, Bemana uko warano. At the time I'm more worried, and now no. BBI you're in that okay. But here we are saying we anything is possible. You're ready to me back. And bit me about say, I worry mu, you're bit me you kunu, you're bit me your yere. See, the fact is your sex life is going to be perfect in everything. It's unreasonable expectation. What the side no another mindset to new one baby no. There's this expectation. It's in the Bible. Emma will be and I know because I have taken people through counseling, and I've realized, and I'm telling you, say, the idea is that my spouse should never go to sleep angry. A unreasonable expectation. In marriage, a whole open institutional 24/7 is about your emotions. You're married. That's why Abribiana may can say, if you don't have high emotional intelligence, marriage is not good for you. You remember when somebody IQ a very low, and it make it and say, "Suku nyama." If you obekaya Ghana, so the be cry is and today I'm telling you, said you to the bit makers will be IQ M1 in the school. Into we think as a nitrewu school no school one nitrewu usua de sen ya wu. Our real so idea and emotional intelligence. I'm telling you. Say unye will be a ultimate control and manage emotions or feelings. Who bet me identify the kind of feeling I will go through at a particular point in time. One. If you can't identify, out of all, Sunday man, I do baby, and say marriage is not good for you, because marriage will always test your emotions and feelings 24/7. Because and yet the opposite now get it. And there are people who think it's there. And that is part of the unreasonable expectation with that mindset to say our arena me community me kuno oh what dummy me who say me yet dummy and until everything is going to be okay. It's not true. Get it. Marriage is an institution. Now a kind of institution now, so when who the rules and regulations are, you can't survive in that institution. And the moment you decide to enter into marriage, get it that you are about to enter into an institution. There are rules and regulations. And there's one thing, the moment you enter into an institution, there's certain things that you can do. And if you look at marriage as an institution, it's something. You don't even own yourself again in terms of a choice. What sacrifice? In terms of decisions, and in your what sacrifice? So if we look at it from that perspective, when you are going into marriage, say when you will go with unreasonable expectations. Because there are people who go with this mindset, and so they go with that mindset, my spouse will give me whatever I want because he or she loves me. A reasonable expectation. In this life, get it, a new path, exercise. And no condition is permanent. But a bit me could do baby, next can in him. And to be a new panel fault. A year say yet tea. The beer to me see anything is possible. And to be up to myself, share mammy, no, who share papa, maybe a nan can in some year. A bit me basa be a nan can you may. But a to the beer. A bit me basa ni panel fault. Or be fault. A bit me music and be at me you any. Inti I can for a worker service from Entepoda. And if you are in a relationship and I say what graduate one move into marriage young casa itself. Now if you think it's there, where expectation is there because of say was spouse or no a don't. Adie bia uhie bia no obeya mawa. I'm sorry, your reasonable expectation. If he say awariemu no so wonye duru awariemu so wonye wura awariemu a there are certain things in this life you don't even have control. And the everyone said natural disasters are we are see. Ebi betimi akusi, wo betimi ahwere bibia, obi wo business. Come on, but bibi betimi asi. Nyema ni nyina betimi afri. And they say, what we say, we are na man kono, mi kunu be ma mi bibia, I will enjoy everything. Kopim say me ware, kopim say me we are a reasonable expectation. The next one, me pese ye twe ya adwene ba so me hunu say a reasonable expectation. If you are in a relationship, and I say if you are in marriage, be very careful. And he said, my spouse will never change. Who told you? In terms of everything, nipa sister. Yes. In terms of maybe our spouse on a stature. And a body said your name maybe sit here. It's not going to be the same. Get it? Power. Or yen the name now. Because I'm sure for when I walk ni mu wabrabomu and I say we share name bebre wabrabomu no and name bebre etimi sister and enipa say edu baby a and name any say the year we assess conti I was so ultimate sister. And if you refuse to change itself will change you. Look at minimum sorry I will call. But just cast your mind back. Few months ago, the way na ebia sorry. Muya sorry. And the way na muhuna sorry. And the way maybe I would tear sorry as if in the face of this COVID-19 pandemic, I don't think say the same. Near my sister. And so if you are in a marriage or in a relationship and your expectation is that my spouse will never change, is unreasonable expectation. You better drop it. And the passes in terms of everything. BBM. Into my kamba ko ni pana nkasa bia uhunu no so de osi hunu no na ne pebema ne ho ofe ana me po ba ne ho ofe na ho ofe no ene niema uhunu ye na enkoda in terms of said ye osi hunu niema no osi te niema se no enye saa forever e bit me ba say bi kora uhunu no no me any school person okonyina obetimi akọ onko school na niema wo sua niema bebe na besesa enye no nko a no ade bia mfa school of experience life we ya ye name no eye school life eye school into mo se do be bia mistakes are wo ye Sanya mani no with time or no, who say you get to a stage na one kasa no said ye na what dream you said your name may be tier both and anticipate. And so if you are in a marriage relationship or whatever relationship and things that nipa no on sister that I am telling you say a unreasonable expectation. You better drop it, find a way. Because another idea sometimes is people think that because we love each other or we love ourselves, we'll always be able to resolve all misunderstandings. misunderstanding. It's not true. It's not true. The fact is, mo dom hunu nche say mo betumi resolve bibia. And internet penifo be catch us say awade bie nuwa ntokwanim. Ye kan tokwa ye kan tokwa say penifo na gina na pipe. But it's true baby misunderstanding, tension, silent trade. Need to be pop it up in a relationship. Until because you are not perfect. And your spouse, and so you're perfect. And as long as you're perfect, not to err is even. Now you live together as husband and wife, by all means, certain things will pop up. Certain things will pop up. No doubt about that. She told the bina oko social media. Yemsha warifubi. Because almost start yen nanka a sign of life on it. There be do baby and go being to me expose to. And so if you look at life, now one tears is a nipa sasa. Into me kunu me yere. Oh, ekobasa no. So when you have that mindset now, the problem I have is that you will not even create room for mistakes. Now, if you don't create room for mistakes, or idea be only because you think say or spouse or you're perfect in terms of everything. No. Can you just create room for mistakes? Because if you close and you don't open any door in your mind for mistakes, I am telling you, say a reasonable expectation. And anything is possible. Get this. Anything is possible. And desire expectations need be one you're very careful. A bit more affected. Let me share something with you. This is my personal experience that I want to share with you. One day be and if you are not yet Kumasi Akwatiala, there was a bofrake to a be. My man, you're very good. And I remember say, oh yeah, convulsion, the kind of stroke because the stroke. Now I remember your time about your boyfriend bomb me bo na your pet taxi the dinner shame near the cock for noche. Na yeah taxi. People, you do come for noche. You do hire me hope we could have a free. Let's back tobo open tobo tenasi monko card. See, really? That's an Arabic walking. Because you're there about Franatoria or someone to Bonamuko Jihadi. You said, don't be about Frew and I mean, Tiasi. Now, the way a nest, you know, relax, yeah. Now, one rush. Now, Abofrano, you're near the drop, but at a point in time, no one revive. Unim, Madras is fine. In fact, yes, Madras is I hope a mammy take a decision. Decision I'm taking and say the way nurses work could do not to the book idea you and your because if your mom will be baby, no, and intino. Who imagine a bar imagine any idea minya I didn't say a yes, sir. Over what in nursing. Few things are a bit more wow. Ebi ne say mo ofie kra na abofra no yare a. At least obetime treat no. Because wunni nimdie bia wo ho a ade kra nye issue no kra na ebe issue ma. Enti ni nyina no, that was a mindset to say me ware nurse ni. And I'm a case baby and a nipa bebre nim sa. And I know said that people who even now think say my wife and nurse. Maybe by watching me and asking me say, so what happened? I feel me in fact me worry abra na me yesofo. Na in fact me kai say bi me say ba Mr. Abra what Trinity say. Me mate ni bi hwe me a me nua sofo ba ko sofo penyina mo akoba any people who were close to me Laurie no name but for the my friends and the baby omunyina said nurse. I remember say sofo mo akoba akra kope nurse ni bi sofo mo akoba e kope nurse ni bi at least few of my friends even Trinity as an American but because that was our dream say at least into the me expectation you know at least me worriness in here and mo frano yare if nyema bibi kakra bi at least mo betimi aye na nya yam hwehwe because e bi kro be check no kra no they will through ni sanema but anko basa at a point in time me decide say me worry teacher ni na buy two things that be because on your nurse ni and I said teacher ni so ebebo wo teacher ni and ebe ni ma de da because I'm talking about expectations unreasonable and reasonable expectations you build the kura wariem na wura wariem and I'm say one hwe ya a bit my affect happiness and as to say because anything me worry teacher ni na me worry no at a point I realized that expectations ni bi wo ha na they were unreasonable. Yes. Adinja. Na ma dream mistake because I'm sure at a point in time the man me consider me the two mukran say growing up on in terms of education me bre ye there was nothing like makosuku aba obi wo ho or beboa me mama your homework that this kind of homework you have to do no. No. Hey, Bishop sir. Me so for penny so penny mate I said myself for penny. I mean sure. I know you have been missing me. Enti suku mu nyina no the brave because at a point in time I have to go and stay with my auntie and my grandmother and going up to school bye oh Lord, you have to go to farm, go and work, do days. There's nothing like the me fata nina. So at least when your teacher near, at least a bit my boy no actually will mad yeah. Baby, I make her be say I'm still affecting me. Yes, 30 years. When himself with that expectation, year me say, my wife, I am a math teacher. And so at a point in time, then yes, sister could be. And the Emma standard be a certain mom of runner. I realized at a point in dance and normal because so omo mommy a teacher media me who had the current BB school omunya 100% and omo results back na so mo 100% madrining co school ho madrining befi because omo mommy a teacher. Oh, reasonable expectation. But because the question is looking at a Juma no easy say obey me yes I didn't account because they say no or why do suffer or why will be a keke and now why was suffer so just say star a institution away with them. Let me tell you, say marriage itself no an institution. When you marry or suffer, it's also another form of institution. I will with them. Because you can imagine number of people are or more or suffer because you are talking about the whole congregation. There's nothing like, and I remember one day I was making fun of my wife. And at a point, Oba and I was saying, "You call baby revival." You can read from her face. He said, "What bread?" But now also, I think Oba saying, "You may call sorry war." Me and Madam for soft for or being for Kwabena. Is or take a Protestant chaplain. Now you can read from her face. He said, "From school." Now, Obaya so at least also to me baby mission as anybody can come in Ghana, Yembuku appointment. I'm afraid you and your friends will be baby mission as no say comodeno. Nti na me makwa another program about. Nti me be do if you say say no echo. And I remember yeah, because also continue na me share na di mo na say we nka wo the teacher ni a nka mo fra ye nyina mo pon school bibia ni ho bi ken wan say mo she fees eti ye me person try to pass on say apart from say marriage institution wo gura mo no so wo worry stuff for yes say you have moved to another institution because it's a number and to the share with this kind of expectations so I'm saying on your side when you at the same time on saying ample time into the American said to the be our warrior uncle warrior moon would you share how would I don't know when you and then it took a big warrior papa bibi kakra won him and the ana abia and you no cry the family no be on monsem inteja at least a year dan minim say but to me akwa anything is possible so can be friending sir enti a true baby you have to be very careful enti reasonable expectations bring and a bit make us me wa wariem and I mean real relationship these expectations they are normal then you and yeah abnormal the person you move coho na at least me no share one or two things so therefore I mean should have a program I have to the awarini yeah the bremu every Thursday and then and so yatna yeah the bremu maybe I will be no how expectations affect one's happiness in marriage. My experience at a point in time, no, now me what challenge. Me challenge me one is that I didn't think as no eco school no more no mommy teacher no more 100%. And even at a point in time, so when you're even 95, what do you say? And you're dead because of what? Of reasonable expectation. Because of no study any lesson notes and everything. And they do, baby, I will say you're very careful. Reasonable expectations, you know, and also anything. Adolson, maybe maybe say you're discussing. There's nothing wrong. Say me wa warimu and me be real. Now may expect to say all of us will commit. Commitment. I must expect commitment from my spouse. Be reasonable. If you don't work on your marriage, you will not have a successful marriage. And marriage is so say if the commitment is not there, and in terms of that, I was always petty. And yet one way. And yet one, because if I'm a referee, I've already told you that when you talk about marriage, it's an institution. And so person institution beyond there are so many schools, but I know say there are certain schools you wish say wo mabeko and I want kasa wo beko. I didn't. But there are so many schools. If you baby cry with more friend, no, college, you know. Look at how schools will be more scholarship and other things. But there are certain schools, but there are new school. You think it's a precope and no do that. No. And so when you talk about marriage, we need commitment. And so you must expect commitment. Bearman also committing or Bano also committing in here. The next thing me per se, yes, expect a open communication and sincere listening. Last week was about excellent listening to each other. May expect and a reasonable expectation that in terms of communication, my wife will be open and here. My pastor, my title is Reverend, very Reverend. I am not right yet, right? If you are a bishop, then you use the title right. If you are not a bishop and you're a superintendent, you use very Reverend. If you are not superintendent, you use Reverend. So people of God, let's move to the next one. You have to expect open communication and sincere listening to each other. Because if that thing is not there, yes, seniors are. Seniors are. Senior, I need you after the show. I will I'll get in touch with you. Senior mates were Prempre, and I remember was it last year he was around. It's unfortunate that I couldn't meet him. The senior after the program, maybe I'll try to get in touch with you. And he said, "Oh, share our more," and said, "Was it last week in your Kansas? No, yeah, because for excellent listening in marriage." Say, Oko warrior. I think say he answer say any pay or you'll be a between any din komo. Because say for the rest of your life, you are going to live with this person. Sometimes and them, but their children they are not going to be with you forever. Very, very soon, they will leave you. And it's a kasana say muntimi ni mu hon komo muntimi nkasa no krini enye enti expect say ukunu be no be din komo. And I'm talking about open communication we hear it spouse here because ankobasa then you are not living in a home. That place is not a home. You remember last week we went through that. What is home? You cast a home and they say where we can express ourselves, where the sense of belonging is there. You can just go back and watch last week's tape. And so, expecting open communication, a reasonable expectation. Another reasonable expectation, making time and creating opportunities to have fun and laugh together. It's unfortunate that this beautiful institution, marriage, ebinoma yamana quiet to say as if say a curse na a blessing. Because there are people in the marriage, they don't even talk, they don't even communicate, they don't even crack jokes, they don't even laugh. But I don't know, you know the unfortunate thing. Sir, I deal awarefo mutumi ye ho adwuma ehia spending time together, chatting and talking. You have to expect. The next thing I believe is that I was so share ni mo kwan. May expect me share e wo ni mo kwan say me kunu e de anidie be ma me. Me yere e de anidie ma me. I'm talking about respect. And respect is reciprocal. Any one way. And so there's nothing like me bumikuno, there's mikunu bume. No. And let me take my time here. Now, when we talk about respect, we don't command respect. We earn, we work for it. Because if you don't work, it's if it's not a command, may a bema, may a tre, and a woman, bema, respect yourself. It will be easy for your wife and the kid to respect you. We don't command respect now. We earn, we work for it. If you are the husband, be the husband. That's the whole thing. If you are the husband, be the spiritual leader of that family. Was it Ebenezer Facebook page? Yes, was the last year or 2 weeks? Family matters. We were talking about lack of fathers as spiritual leaders. Who is a father? What is your role? What are you supposed to do as a father? So, we are papa. Now, one yet papa no. The respect from your children will not come. The way you carry yourself, your character, the way you talk, and so, Papa, if you indeed you are the head of the family, you are the priest of the family. Not only that, you are the spiritual leader. Provide leadership. That's what we are lacking in our families now. The kids want to see their fathers providing leadership. Our wives, that's something they are expecting. Like, if you have been taking your time to study our women, say only possessing in terms of knowledge, everything. Still, say obe constant to obe actually papa and then you can. So provide leadership. That's something we are not doing. And I strongly believe if we will provide leadership, and because we are not providing spiritual leadership, it is affecting BBR. And it's not a church. Was it last week? And I was discussing this thing with somebody. And I said, if you look at the Old Testament and even the New Testament, and also in terms of their spiritual formation, in terms of their spiritual growth, it is the duty of the family. There's nowhere in the Bible I refer to, because look at the Old Testament, even when it comes to the New Testament. Fathers, instruct your children in the Lord. Don't provoke them. And so if you look at your family as an institution, in terms of people who are in that institution, their spiritual head or the priest of that institution, fathers, lack of fathers as spiritual leaders, and a huge impact. It will be yes. And to say, abofranum free in terms of the spiritual formation, the word view, That's what the Bible says. Train up the child the way they should go, so that when they grow, they will not depart. It's unfortunate how we have been leading our families as spiritual heads. Maybe we are not providing leadership. And so our women are expecting that fathers will provide leadership. That's the whole thing. So fathers, be fathers. Be the spiritual leaders. Provide the leadership. Yeah. It's our duty. And then she said, me ye papa, me ye mommy, not said ye hose me ye, me ya, I lose respect. Do you know that? Na eko baby who expect some president what vote into power a baby. Now you know that that's the right thing. I was saying yeah, now won't provide there. It didn't church baby. Inti your back, your nebus, your fear more. It's something that I strongly believe we have to think about it. And so now I am expecting my husband, my wife, my spouse, my partner to respect me. For that one, you have to expect. It's reasonable. Because if you don't respect, it means you don't even value. And so we don't command respect, we earn. And into me boom me kunu, me boom me yere. And so that's high expectation when you are. I'm sorry, something is wrong, something is all right. Not only that, I was saying, may expect to say, me welfare, here me could. Me welfare, here me ye dear here. Doing well in life. I was saying, may expect me could expect something like that. Ekobasano, Emma or no, and what be also will be an obit to me aboa. It's unfortunate that in our time, as if say each one for him or herself, God for us all. And just a bare man is about him or Bana is about her. And we are not working as a team. As if say Yababishia. And will be a baby no, we are one. Say mikunu dia mediye. Say miyiri dia mediye. And so we have to expect something like that. Mikunu ni yedi meyiri yedi and welfare. Crucial. And then to us adie bi a wo be ye bi e be affecting yedi and welfare in terms of everything, in terms of the physical needs, in terms of spiritual, in terms of emotional needs. And if you remember, was it 2 weeks ago, we were talking about identifying your spouse emotional allergies. You know, normal we have life, we have physical allergies. There are certain peanut, obi oha ontimi, obi okra normal oil ontimi. And two months says, baby, I stand in background one. Unko turn and name for peanut unko turn and name for man because we are allergic to. But so wouldn't more and then now the name be called. And their kind who knows spouse emotional allergies. A dear bear na walker, a dear bear na way, a dear bear na trigger the emotional world. You have to identify. Now, in marriage relationship or not, or therefore, and I'm saying, yeah, institution, we get to know ourselves. And to be our nini kunatina for years, onim nukuno, onim no emotional allergies. Anything here, and dear Bain, and I was petty every week, and then I was petty from where you know. And today I can say, when you come to here for how many years? When you try for how many years? When you know emotional allergies, and near man, a trigger the feelings, and near me a trigger the emotions, and answer the sentiments. I will try near ultimate control. And into me me yere, and them say me kunu na me yere no, because the case will be movie anything. That's the whole thing. Do you know your wife? Do you know your husband? Do you know your spouse? Or do you know your partner? It's unfortunate. Sometimes we don't even take time to study ourselves. And so when you talk about our real, now, share a niema, me share ni mu kwanya. Me share ni mu kwanya, se me kunu obehu me, na wahu me ye. Me yere obehu me, na wahu me ye. Because when you talk about marriage, it's about understanding. These are the shortcomings. These are the weaknesses. Me nim se me kunu wo. Therefore, I am there to partner with him so that we work as a team. Her weakness is my weakness. His weakness is my weakness. So we work together. But the unfortunate thing is that because we don't even know ourselves, we find it difficult to work as a team. And to the footballers now, and now soccer, you know what I'm talking about. When they are working as a team, or so ni more, when you said that 7 be move to her, or we be move to her, or be dinechi. Into your 3x2, 4x2, send a yesibono into your planet. Because a boy move into also about the more when you say we move her, or so about when you say we move her. Our real moon is of sanity. It may expect to say, my husband and now my wife will work with me. We work together. And you one man show. I come forward nice adage be. Dear Jim from man. And so I am expecting a reasonable expectation. Say, my wife will work with me. My husband will work with me. We work as a team. Reasonable expectation. There's nothing wrong with that. And it is, say, when you get into the relationship, now who say, the two shall become one. But we don't work together as a team. Ekofa nema bebre ba. Odofo nyame nhira wo bebre, nyame nhira wo bebre. Ya me nhira wo bebre. E de ready ase. Praise God.
Hello, Robert. Ask me, Bray. I think Sabre may use opportunity now. May they as I see ama a tier for and a for Omania and Mreno Mama Bekai who yet in Chaka Siama Alexander Srifi Georgia.
Producer Alexander Srifi or your software when I'm a be made to premper or your software no.
Oh, okay.
Kesiepa and the woman who call Ghana say.
Okay.
Oba ayawo but make us a last oba ya nanka meaning equation abem na be program is unfortunate. One of the brilliant students you meet now more.
I know that with technology the that cool we train deny programs CB.
Producer no parenting and make us after you.
Yeah.
Now with this technology there. Also for me, Pacho, you are not free.
Yeah, then I'm brave for supporting. Yeah, then Jacka Siasma, a Kofi Sana, and Nana Osai Kofi Kakari, Matoda Koma.
Kofi Sana, so yeah, me made to alligator.
And now when you're mobile.
Wow.
Abina Charlene, Sansana Koma, Yamami Rebecca, and Yeda Obi Biara Ase, Yeda Obi Biara Ase. Sir, when you're a Mre Ababe Kayahu. Now, I think, Sir Reverend, Mammy used to opportunity now. Yemfa a highlight comments ababa kakra. I know some most of them no free a year usinia ho. Enti the aye kanyina say ye na so bebre. Aye maame ampoma na obehwe kyerese o hwe opeso kyerese o hwe saa so na aye Sarah Ado ono so ehwe ye da mase bebre mu nyina ye da mase bebre. Sabre so aye commenter eba ye no ebinie. I say if you don't work on your marriage, you will not have a successful marriage. Okay. Ebiom so by saying you need commitment in marriage, open communication and sincere listening, reasonable expectation, making time and making opportunity to have fun and laugh with each other. The next one, so I respect. I said that we don't command respect, we earn it, we work for it. I said the father and husband is the spiritual leader of the house. The children want their father to provide leadership. It is the duty of the family to raise their children. And so I said Proverbs 22:6, King James Version. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Okay.
Maybe almost said doing well in life, my welfare of my spouse, in terms of physical, spiritual, and emotional needs.
Police, what we say, make us say, me mate, you know, now I'm one of the brilliant students. What you said, you make, you know, and they are discussing you know, within short time. I know, sir, he's now in charge of one of the best Bible schools in Ghana.
Okay. You have to know what triggers your spouse's emotional allergies. I have to be intentional about studying my spouse to know his or her weakness in order to help each other to excel. I think the final was a spouse have to work together as a team. Thank you, very Reverend Moses Antwi. I think and then I did messages, you know, ABC. Mesra bebre mo amuwo eye Kwamet TV page ni so me try na ma ba honom na ma hwe se ho so se messages wo ho and also me read but sabre die me den check se ma Frederick Jemfi Mensa. Reverend, I think sir bebre
wait yourself for penny no.
Oh, okay.
Now or school or Atlanta circuit.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I say, Madam Ampoma is watching from UK. Thank you so much. All the way from UK. And I'm a abribia emre. And my best mobile so mobile the answer mobile share video no be mine. And your best ko YouTube. Now subscribe to Kwamet TV. And ya Kwamet TV. Kwamet TV. Yes, mo subscribe to Kwamet TV. Mo support ye. Spelling in the dash no. Oh yes, I will type it. Kwame Bibeba Kwame TV and yanwa. Aya Kwamet TV. Yada masibebre. Reverend Emra O Kasana. I don't know, sir. A quite a honor avia questions been in your money maybe or honor my met me the real more. Not just say Yenja won't not twice one son.
Put this on camera because maybe I move on the last session.
Oh, okay.
Because expectations, so in terms of your mofrano, I want me person you move courses same. Ankayaka, papa ne mame, you move work or hana sometime or reasonable expectations or mofrano, so they too much.
Okay, I think so. When an person me bisakakra with these expectations, yeah, yetiminya na ye Is it a way, sir, we can let go? Because of all how can someone let the expectation go? Sir, obey you.
Okay. Producer, I say sometimes we are not realistic. We have to be realistic. We have to look at the situation. We have to study the environment that we are in. For example, now we know that we are in crisis. And there be a first, now be a husband and they taking care of everything. It may be a COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, affected him. He has lost his job. Or on a share be able to contribute to. And our wife crying what could that and she say now you expecting still no they know what you know obey. Sad expectation because there are certain things that wife for your nipa uknu or your nipa or none is so above. As long as we live on this earth, and I already say I can pass it. And say you create room so for change. I will agree more. I told you na you kuno na ye yere no or more from any sane man ye betiase. Na I do baby crowd unfortunate things said ye expected from your spouse no. Ye crowd ye meet this standard no. I told you be a yes that time no. And into them person can say we have to be realistic. When things are not going well, and Nick can say you create tensions be na creating your mabbre. I feel a beam the American said the impressor your shenuni. And your mabbre it me affect in terms of your relationship or not. There are certain things in terms of any compete in terms of your commitment towards your marriage, in terms of expressing or showing love. No? Now, with this technology, the social media tools, and then Nyama Bibre, and a rare challenge. Obi bet to me a Facebook from within the 24 hours. No, Obenya Bibia Sha completes the 24 hours. And the yes three na me say expectations no. And ye ma ye hwe ni mu kwan ye mera for na ye hwe say ye koye ni mi ye me di me ye man me see madwene pe based on na me bia na me fa ne sister na tie no me wura mu sa na tie and I said ntesa and anything is possible bibia betinesi and say ye decide say yes abre niema sesa and sesa ebe sesa ye and then we can say if we refuse to change itself will change us. And the president how before COVID-19 churches near running niema we think say yankushia face to face we think say yankuyisia that's a service and your service and maybe a trim instead of even thinking about the church members and then you hook around in any part we think that the church and say running. Oh, as soon as you will say that back, you will say that back. But in the face of this COVID-19, now we can't run churches like that. And at the end of the day, the only property I would work on this earth is not a church building, it's not a church account, human beings. And we have to spend money to build and develop human beings so that they will live for God. And to the be buildings are easy. Yet few for 3 months or so. Now, your spiritual life, I say,
No.
How to be Ghana chapel? There's nothing wrong with this chapel. Oh, ye muha, you go who will be there. Say they don't see a nefe. Look at how sometimes you waste sticker. Because at the end of the day, we go and sit there. The idea is say we are character developers. And yet when you practice the Christianity, a meeting place be a here, then we receive the training and then we'll go out. But look at her, a honor producer. How many hours do we spend? Share to the beer. Yeah, 4 hours, I also have 5 hours. Within week, we spend 4 or 5 hours. But do you know the mortgage that we are paying? Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, you go and spend just 4 hours. Look at the amount of money that we pay every month. Oh, and look at crisis how it is only crew now who remove a certain mindset. Now, if you got name, well, you say, hey, Saudi, we have a debate, and as Saudi, I may expect we have to change, revise our notes, get to the drawing board, and sit down again and put our heads together and come up with something. In terms of if you add your any Juma baby, we have Misran Kamaka 95% men would have what Obi a room with that mindset to say, if you had your man, Joban would be a nation of fra everything. You say, you say you waste and you're wrong. In the olden days, our fathers and mothers, this thing was working for them perfectly. Everything was excellent at that time because a man Juma ding. It's out of that ye in the pensuya or baby a Juma warrior ding bearman. Yes, so young Caster, if you had the yawning in a Madia. In fact, I also appreciate too. I remember one time I told some mommy, hey, even if you leave us 3 days, it's going to be hard for us to survive in this room.
I have a mama conversation, Kakra.
You're the problem. The funny thing, make some more car, I don't know. I said, I go for vacation. I'm saying, I'm more about to say.
Oh, Conoson Fatty Uncle.
Because even Monday to Thursday, you can even see the easy. Indeed. In terms of the air can say now looking at the way a near man call any we are second. Into me in Cassatinchina, into me in terms of standing money now, no Diana may advise a man for the say. Mummy no Montina Simbo. Na Monshe Obana hoarding, Shebemana hoarding. Now out of that, where the beya a beboam. Yeah. I may a bema, me mammy be who say, may yes, I did will cry, said another cry, man, dear. Some mindset now was that certain things you be. It been cry fan, I am, nights as he said, Sandy money in our Bible, into a bema, na a common deal. Now we yet a question, my woman, into see what's I'm a comukun. No, I remember when we in Ghana, one of our stations, and one day, they say, na me pefufu inti stuff ma me ye na ya bofra na ye ne wo ho no oni ho inti wo be hwa cases of ma me no inti me ya ti no ma come bi kura ba adam yi ma sofotade na me kan do no tu mu me wa metesu bi bo do no mu a na me se ajo ameba ana me ko nipa na ne case di ade inti me shatale me ko hia me ne ko office me ko kan nas o kan nas be bomb pile ma wi a and no when I'm sabe farm woman and I'm a woman fufu and this yes something
oh we who said wow for cranya wanna be a worker obi
the producer not me what is wrong I don't see anything wrong with that my main baby until say me free me ma me chain na me na see me ma me nema kuma se baby na ye wo no na unse no ye share into we pra na we pra at a point in time no say do me ma me so be pra any pipe or no twitwie no I was doing that in fact me walk corner kra na me nyan conversation na mo ma me na I was still doing that me say me ma me nema na me de gu pan mu na me si and say some me in any way I don't see anything wrong with that and in turn me advice say yeah ma me no say So we expect to say wo baba kwa aware na nkunu beboa no a se koba se wo ma ema ene mema emfre ma no nko na nkyere wo se de esi aduane se no first na yesi wo ba wo bekwa awade wo ehunu aduane no ano enne mema nyina no wo se kyerɛ mo aduane no a there's nothing like oba nko na wo se kyerɛ aduane no into wawo ema ne bema no wafa oba no tambia bra kitchen bra besu aduane. It's wrong. Say no me pamcho enye man kwa na eche omaduane no o emma ne memma because obetina konya wo ba bia na dwuma wo ye no se de ne density and in terms of sika de ba fie no be ma no enye sa dwuma ne bi sika kora be ma ne de ba fie no oba ne chen ebetima be se awesa oba no ne be ma ne adwuma no be ma ne de ne etia enti bia be ma no awesa no no wa ba fie a enti won tena ho am oba yin koye adwuma din nyina mwie no oba wasabe no a having an intino ye can produce an ye can say titino and an ye fre wo ban kwa chen aduane no ye ma me moma ye nyai se o ye aduane na wo ma mema e mema ne ma ne nyina fre wo na kire wo se de odi kire oba ne bi a kire na eboa me next week my Ebenezer page lesson taught by life or hine yere give to Antwi and eba na me ka say and na me hwe ni show bi or KSM and I remember testimony of ma fa nukru no hine no say in fact nukru ni maduane no and I remember KSM bisa ne say hey na utenye ya wona or hine mu a and then they was hey I'm a free spirit because the whole thing is say me ya na me crew ebe okay me be okay and so your bema in those days na ye nkyere but so your bema na so ni meduane ya me bom nsema bebre and I strongly believe we say yeah because you sua eboa ye because say ba half for February na so for my minion week bas na into also sa kono ba be June something and I remember it was so funny now and they did be bro police also be attract kitwa mu de for some time na me nyere to bi kra na me wure ye fi na me nim say duane say wo ye de bi
Oh yeah, now you're perfect.
that's that old school na my friend I was force na we and we and therefore yes sorry yeah move work on the next segment no yeah share unreasonable expectations from the kids. I know sometimes we just assume say and mofrano bibi wo mutimu dada hey producer man who message be me mama a lot of men know how to cook. Oh, so for put it to challenge. Mama, Mate will work on that. Yeah, but a man, member, one in Median, no, your man, Wedrian, and a man, Wedrian, your bomb pious crisis in the platform. We'll see what we can do. And therefore, the year can say, I'm afraid be I a bewuni bian. My yenya dream say, winning papa and ne bonny. I am a say, give you any team and what they are, but it is never true. And then I will say, train the child the way he or she should go. Sometimes we just assume that a mofrana be maybe. And I remember some years ago, I was in Ghana. Now me call. Now it was about visitation. Now me refie back. Now ma me be chisi neba. Now I bono na bofrana jino no uja. The bofrana be so misa na ma me dinechi. And so mama aden. So for abofrana, woni me da seka. Na me nya abotre man. na jam krokro abofra no na bejam ne de dua ti me ne ma me ni share am se mamba cho eni ma ni bi wo ho a aya na expect from ofra na edi abofra bi eni wa ye wo no a thank you me dasi o de ba yo abofra bi eni ho a odidi atemu a o de ba ye de bi ahombe fa na ha se wo bi ko suku a yetimi ka se first grade we eni e de kire no nti e kire abofra no a na ye no nsohwe ye hu se wa pass se du ba bi na abofra na am pass a eto na bi yetimi na repeat eniema no teacher ni nso make sure say watch no wate ase asema na make can say ye musa ye parents say syllabus ben na ye wa ye de e kire emofra ade syllabus ben into from 0 to 5 2 and now 5 we and ye de kire wo from this time to this time we and ye de kire wo in fact ye mofra no cry no se nyame ya do ne mofra no bi nyini no mba ye mofra pa e wo se ye da nyame ase ne mofra no cry ye da wo mo ase she will be kosuku a ye heda wade e de kire no tete no na nana no ye but bedru ye penso ye nye tete no se ye wo oba no ye oba na maame na fan na maame ni etrini no atete no na krom ho man penifo do poverty ayina right na omuso abem omo training no enche bia na ye ne Methodist panyini pa baako aye lay president edin komo na woka is the nine in life abra wonyini na ne community na wotimu no obi atimi training bia to the thing say at a point that papa baako also wo ya de kra papa ne sini kwan papa na mpene onye ne papa o pato sini kwan o ma ne kwan anye oh in so wo hwetete no a in terms of training na ye nananom yade but min suro anka meka say ye kra ye ka formal education ye nya opportunity ya go through formal education no ye misa ye ho say families no dodo say and omo wade e friend say syllabi I will money chire mofra no me ba no from 0 to 1 this is what I'm teaching from 1 to 2 this is what I'm teaching send ye school no we don't do that sometimes we just assume we just expect and unreasonable expectations that's what saying na wusha eto de bi e say e de be na ya kire no a enti efi say wonnim a enti ode anyini wo sta na bofra no ya nkire de bibia enti onyini ye to bia na wo ya bofra sa na ma no nkosia no we onkofa na I remember my experience be it was so unfortunate girl e wa bridge ha ya wadru ne baby e ma edu a omo first experience ne sa na ma no now the unfortunate thing is that ne ma me ne parent no omo nkyere no yes o ma kyere no anasisi omo nkyere and so the unfortunate thing na a poppy happen is there you that hu your mobile akra no e go through stadium and niema o distance you know and niema o de ye no na ro ntitete no entimi master will be back ebenya the first menses na parent ni but ene ekoso bebre it's unfortunate say ekoso star enti the American say yen shada make conscious effort say ye try ye mofra de na ye nyai unreasonable expectations na say when you also okusiano way teach the child so the way so there's a way we have to teach them oh okosiku obeye doctor there are certain things that they train okosiku obeye suffer there are certain things obeye accountant obeye nurse yet TMA and then you did to get it true and to do baby how I expect him of any too much. Let me share something I do baby so and so boapa Edru baby a oye papa, oye mame. Nebi a mawo. O se to de bia mmofra no ebia na ketewa wo. Mmofra na ewo fie ho no. Se koba se omo so omu nua ketewa ne mu a. Enye wo mo adwuma wo. They are doing that out of a keke. Ubetimi a co-parent efie bebre mu a as if say mmofra no eyo mo adwuma. They are just helping. And I strongly believe say I was saying we need to understand that they are just helping. They are just helping. And indeed, therefore, yesterday mo bebre. Mama ye make conscious effort to groom, to train our children. Na ye nyai unreasonable expectations. I was so timi ye we. Na se unsa. Na se we say, na ya children. Inti ya children bofran have to say thank you. A kwa ben ye fast to children. Ya tese who said the children bofran no wa pass onim and that's winim. Inti for any for the yesterday bebre na ye can say unreasonable expectations. You're very careful. And into say true baby, you discipline and mofrano here. Because we just assume certain things. Meanwhile, you're and that is a teacher name. Subject be and course be unchra bofran. Unchra student and so expect some pass exams. At the end of Mukusi and move and pass. It do baby, that's how we treat our children. And it's unfair. Penyina mo ade no wo nana se ya make ya kire no ntitete no na nanu mo hwede kire from ye usa unyini nyina usua kasa ni nyina na ye kire nti ye cultural values na ye kire penyini ene wo kasa instead of be kasa wo di ade ma penyina emfa wonsa we the way I'm no wodi nyini enti wonyina anye difficult thing ma wo take care mu anase wo ko baabi ana wo hia panyini bi na wo so ade a je wo say ye kire ye sade wi enti wo kura no wo atwe no kura no emwa wo yi so be hia panimu bi no so anema na wo be san no ye mi say ye ne pensu sa ye cultural values no ewe hene. Families do those things and what family values so that from day one, this is what we believe. This is what we think say it will help the family. Into abofre bia ye be wonu bia adewe na ye children. Into unreasonable expectations. And when you mofra hono so ye pancho ye kumu mofra. E do baby ye expect too much from them. Children will always be children. And to the big cry wo e bi cry na wo ya abofra. Oh, and I back to baby, I will fear, yeah, that the expectations, baby, na broso crown say. We think say, yeah, time or no, and no more time. We want you one more time, near time more. And you too much, and you time, and one more time. And you one more time, near time. And the papa, you are not making reference. Me, but you win and so what? Who didn't say, oh, my papa, right? Environment no nyini woman. Yeah, we were crassy and now got to crass. Who saw the idea? Who the old didi agro nyina one a manufacture. Or no, so no do any person. Nemo didi agro, you want a manufacture. First, a crown and calculator, and what computer find a tablet. Game will be a person will be, but yeah, over Kaya and those is what you're pressing. And now one poano, baby, I will be an. Henema didi agro. And so, can we be realistic? Because sometimes unreasonable expectations from the kids, we are just destroying them. We are just destroying them. Oh, and a do baby, or ya bofra, but near person will zoom or penny grow. And sometimes we just confuse them. We need to understand their world, how they look at things, how they perceive things, how they talk and they do their things. Because they say the problem is that the gap no omu wiase and ye wiase. We should find a way to bridge the gap because gap no eso. And indeed yenti womoste and almost on tears because we are not ready to learn. We think that we can impose some of the things that you go through. No. In Africa, in Ghana, Penini Kasa, the idea is a enkabi. But in terms of Saneman, dear to the be an empany for Neka. Not your more can a year power, and nay you want penny for be at your more can, and yet, who goes social media? Atem Didier. Abofre bia woni ma didi atendide bia osua firi panyin no abofre bia wo ya abofra body bia osua firi panyin no. Yes, that's the whole thing. Wo abofra na se wa nidi atemu a ebe de wosua e bia wo hu nidi but wo kwa abonten no panyin bia kire ne ba atendide oni ni kunu the process of nikunu otimi bia na no di neta abofra no wafa nti abofra no ko school no okoka nti abofra na yesi odidi atem no a wo school mu nti abofra no so osua firi hinefa because ye wo abofra na bibia ni tiri oni ma de friend say aboa ana e friend kwasia ye na eputu wo eno nti say ya nye very careful na ya nhwesta anyema we ya e kreti anyema bebre nti me bisa wo say maame papa syllabi bay na wo fie and would teach emofran. Train the child the way. So there's a certain way. We can't just train them, raise them anyhow. There's a certain way. First of all, we need to discover that certain way. Train the child the way. The way. Into a queen be war. A queen be war. I'm so more fast. Now, yeah, the way you train here, and no your person, you put two signing money in a bit for entesa, and the yenya botre, yemo frano movie as they say. A dear bell or more language in the say. A dear no more world view. Or more near must say, or more 10 year master saying, or more tears yet to say. But yet ye titty dear noir, and your person yet the chair. I be for Debbie. Daddy, and to the American say, I am now unreasonable expectations from kids, no? Ye kumbo, ye nyai, ye mrafo, na ye nyabutre. So one children don't expect from him. So one children expect to say a automatic obehu, and it's unfortunate that there are people who think like that. They just assume say mofrano elsu. A dear no watching was saying cool. A dear no watching. I was saying cool. One children. And yet, therefore, Yadama say, producer, my name says Sabia, question and BB Abba, and then.
Okay, Reverend, where you yada sebebre majina atief one ashefo nyina name I know say comment no ba na eba anije no adoso ti sabre de yada sebebre na question ba kwa na ka me pese me bisa ne say which means with our expectations see your expectations bet me ama yehu your partners as failures.
Exactly. And it's already topic now. What about you discuss here? That's the whole thing. And you do baby, when you fail, and you're based on your unreasonable expectations. And then I'm who kuna kwasha kona be say, what did the abrabo mu dear? Because and you were expecting baby. And you think you say we expected the same thing every day. But unti me, you know your pet, you're more than your pet. And you been more and now, producer, I don't like labeling. Because a to the beer, you did obi to two obi near label.
Sir.
And you're wrong. And you take for the yesterday, no yesterday, and then they say, you're very careful how we label people. Because sometimes, yen casta or reasonable expectations, and until the man they condemn binum near label binum say way where you say. Actually, be a mammy quadruma by what bread, mamma, and yes, what you're quite for producer. But yeah, expect to say, our dear Munutan beyond Ben Wedriani, I will say, base, oh, this I am very careful. Some biano, as if said, you come here, you come, because expectation, no, abnormal, beyond now, own to me, but you expect to obey. Oh, so young, she's animal win, you know, if you do, baby, no. There's a dear friend is happiness. It be my word, you know, because in the expectation too high. Now, because they own to me meet the expectation, you think it's on your good wife, you think it's on your good husband. For this, I'm telling you, say, our year baby, Ben and your baby, if it's animal, no. Unreasonable expectations, you know, I may be no my bad husbands, bad wives, and that's what is destroying us.
Yeah.
We have to be realistic. And two months will be what our producer. Onyukunti okuno. Ne yidinti okuno. Adi kura one team kura no team say adi we die mean to me. Nenso said ye beya ne yiri ananukun lebu ninti. Adi na one team kura no for so I. Ebedu baby no akunya yade. Unfortunately tanya ya no afiri mu ya. And the unreasonable expectations they producer, not to say, Emma, oh, our remu when in Yikeko, producer to make the divorce, our jayaba. Because we were Beshana, and one said, me oh, Obano, where your quadruforte will be. It will be a nice quadron 1 year. And ya quadro. Nikuno on pepper, and do be a yes, brenna one expectation because a be our crowd want to Adam for be, and a nukunu or cast way, where your way, and away your way, and away, and away, and until one so when ya sad, expect to stay through Kuno, or expect to sad in every Uko will be the way I was sister producer. If you were asking, I want to be a can someone will be a one in Nukunu and talk, and ya the kettle, adding Nukunu. Adena nukuru mona wo foro ka na wo sika ofirika na mukura wo mie do wa ha won hwe papa na one ne kwa sori no wo mo pa sori na papa na bebie gate na yira betu no aka tum ogodu fia na wabie na yide nesti na one day e na mo ka say e na papa na wo bie do e ma na yire foro na o ka tum no ono e ma wo mo left na kwa ba sa na yire kwatena akire. And now no papa is because of any time for no better than and he or no our country go do ya will be a door not knowing say cano gate door no I say and he beer from outside won't me beer from inside. Now we know I went to look at this.
Yeah.
Then Tiasia say ye did nipa binumachia ye wadi enkoye. You didn't pen be a chair one share, but who grants and a emerald. Sir, for yes, you're very careful. I was animal.
Yo, Robert,
expectations, you were unreasonable expectations, and you were reasonable expectations. And then, Sanya man, Yashe, and a yak. Expectations, anywhere we are saying, say, you were reasonable. Some are reasonable. Because a true baby, I am not. You expected and I demanded from your spouse. No, I do baby or more. I understand. I wish say we can learn something from the God.
Yeah,
that we all have faith in Him.
Okay.
At a point in time, all my talent, was so sure will be a said you now more day a day. Is it here or assess it? Can you just take time and assess your spouse? Can you take your time and assess your partner? Because I will be brave. It must say.
Yo, where the Reverend Yada I think say and Nadia Ahaya na Ebia Yadi Jumadi and Ebesinti Reverend Massel Bebre said I'm D kind and then mini studio and Casa eti or last words would have been my sounds na made church here for Nasha for say Ebenezer Methodist Church Maryland yeah programs from Commercial Danchain lessons taught by life. Almost special guest on Gifty Antwi. Date 26 August next week. US Hanum 1 p.m. Host no ankasa papa nti moma ye nyina ye nye adwene ne enko support so adwuma de ye enko tie na adwuma de ye tie so a ebeboa ye bebre nti sabre the reverend o last words kra wo de be ma yen na ye de adwuma de no aba awie ye
the American say awarefo and yeme bi wo ha aya na ye hwe afiri ye kunu mu ho a ye nya botra na boroso ye hwe afiri mu nya moroso ye hwe afiri ye ma ho a ye moroso and yentu ye bona na boroso if you say nipa bia no ye po on limit ye po baby na ho den ekokopem mesre baby ani ho adwo mo ma ye nya botre na ye ntena se na ye ntete ye ho ase na ye no ye ho na megiri se urade be ya dom aware institution wura mu a there are rules and regulations and into do baby a school na wakwa wura mu no very careful about unreasonable expectations be or her reasonable and no dear and no nothing na mention niema kesi niema wukuntimi nye niema wa akura wuntimi nye mfie dukra na opportunity a wuntimi nye na adenta ya misha mu bebe nya me ya to ma na wo twese ne ya besa hia mechia mu nyina awurade
ya da se be na be na saka se be ma ro and then obigara wonya amre obigara ameka ya ma fu se mo follow ya no ma share ya that video you ya for trying in the middle let's from what they are for YouTube for Kwamet na for Sabeka ya da ma so be abegi ya na ya ka che mu ya na say ya da ma so be we am commercial say see ya na ye dijumadi na ba we ya da ma say
Ghana fue ye na bay a pest fertilizer booster purely organic efrasa simu ene de massase no obade ensa no pe na menu akayo se wudro bia nim enti se ode yafu a anya ade aduaba no anase wo a wudi no benya soso bia na chese be ma kwaye aye dekorate kane no a ebe fa na tuma pa ede afra na de ma epestain edan so kra de se enema no wadua na ewuwo na flowers ne aduaba no etiti guo no agya wadwo a se wudi epestain kanu a ene te se magic no ebe ye prom fe na aso aba bebre ahwadi mu pa eti se no kwiafo ebenye sika ene anigye awo mabrabo mu a na utimi se enyasam keto akora epestain e mammo piafo apanifo monfre ahoman na monje nkiremu ya ehye medie 0552 505723 ana plus 160 922 78043 Apex fertilizer booster piao mama kwadwuma ayani kapa
making farming sexy again. Apex 10, operation